Today, I'm going to put together some of my fun memory keeping spreads for my recent trip to Egypt. So if you want to see what I create, then stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. My name is Tracy and I am a girl with plans. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this video. And if you find that you enjoy it, do not forget to hit that like button. All right, guys, so I have some of my memory keeping books here. I also have some stickers, some stencils, and some photos. So I'm going to do some long overdue memory keeping from my March trip to Egypt. I'm a little bit behind. Yes, I am, but that's okay. The memories are still in my head, so I can put them to paper. So I do have two journals here. This small 8x8 one is my travel journal. So I do a little bit of memory keeping in here. I will show you that in a moment. And then this is my letter size dot grid journal. It's my Go Getter Girl notebook. And this is where I do my general memory keeping. So I just memory keep about anything that I want. Usually it's events that kind of where there's photos taken, because I don't take photos all the time. So like I have some Christmas in here. Go Wild is in here. I went to the zoo recently. That will be in here at some point, but that's the kind of stuff I do. And then when I do travel, I also like to do a memory keeping spread in this book. With that said, I also did a photo journal where I ordered online from I think it was pix.com. I did that of my trip. So I don't have tons of photos. So I'm literally going to do like a 2-page spread in this book and then a 1-page spread in this book. Just because I prefer to do those photo books, kind of like coffee table type photo books. That's what I like. But this is my travel journal. I've done flip throughs of this before. I think I've done a short of it, so that way it was like a quicker flip through, but I've also done slower flip throughs. Eventually I'm going to make a table of contents, but things aren't in the permanent place yet, so I've been holding off on doing that. But this, I do travel logs of stateside trips, international trips, cruises, things like that. I do keep cruises separate from all of that. Had spaces for extra logs. You can see where I started stamping the page numbers, so I can do that. And then I started kind of writing down like natural wonders. I haven't finished this because I saw a lot of natural wonders on my last trip, but like man-made wonders, landmarks visited, national parks, theme parks. Obviously, I've done a lot of theme parks. I just haven't wrote that in yet. Travel bucket list. I'm not sure what I intended to do with this, to be completely honest, when I set this up. But yeah, this is pretty, oh, I know what it is. Never mind. It just took me a minute, guys. This is going to be an index for what is coming up next. So this is the actual travel bucket list. And I have gone through, I believe, and checked off this stuff from Egypt. Let me just make sure. Yes. So I've checked off everything that I've done so far, including my very last trip to Egypt. So this is my bucket list. This is more of my international bucket list. So yeah, I like how this turned out. Super fun. So this is going to be my index more about these. So I got this idea from a travel journal that I keep seeing pop up on like Instagram and Facebook. I can't remember the name. So sorry. I know I've mentioned it before, but right now it's like slipped my mind, where it's kind of like a bucket list type thing where they have like the names of places up here and you check it off and then you can journal about it on the page. And that's kind of what I did. I haven't finished writing down all the places. So some of these pages will be blank, but I have started doing this. Like I've put some pictures down. I haven't journaled because these are like old photos. These are like really old pictures. You can see I have some photos here from Bermuda. Canada, I gotta find pictures from it. Caymans. I haven't done Colombia yet. I did do Cuba, so I put all that together. Dominican and Jamaica, I've done that one. Let me see. Egypt. There we go. I'm not flipping through it all. And then in the back, I do have, you can see I put pictures. I ordered a whole bunch of pictures recently. That's why I have so many. And then in the back, this is where I'm going to do the states. I did skip a state or two, so I'm going to have to like rework some of it before I like put things together. But yeah, this is like my 50 state page. So I have my international and my 50 state page. I think it's a fun idea. I just didn't need to buy a new book, which is why I just decided to just make my own, because I already had this started with all of this stuff. So I figured in the back, this is what I would do. Because at first I was just going to like scrapbook for each trip. And I thought this was a fun way to do it. So yeah, like I said, there will be blank pages, but you know, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just write Egypt at the top. All right. So I've gone ahead and I've done all that. That's all I did. So what's going to primarily be on this page is I'm going to put some photos. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of journaling, kind of like, I haven't filled this out yet either. So this is a fairly new concept, but like for Cuba, I did this. Some places I'm not going to like fill up the whole pages because I might go again. Egypt, I don't know, it might be a more one and done. So I'm going to use these pictures because they're a little bit smaller. I have all of these that I'll go through that might go in my other book, but I feel like these are good for this book because they're small. This is a 4x6 photo. What I did is I did the collage on walmart.com. So this was 14 cents and I got what, 5 photos out of it. And it's perfect for this because like I said, I still want a little bit room to journal. This is going to be another page. Right now I have it reserved for Fiji and the Maldives. Will it ever go there? I don't know. So it might not end up being that. It might end up being another country that I end up going to and its place. But yeah, so I'm only going to do one page. But I think that'll be enough. So those are photos from the oldest pyramid in Egypt, Saqqara, or Sac. I think that's how you say it. It's like S-A-Q. I'm not gonna even try to spell it. I'm not gonna journal on camera because I'm gonna have to like ask my little electronic device how to spell certain words because I don't know off the top of my head. You know what I don't have? I might have to use a bigger photo because how did I not print any pictures? Okay, I have 2 pictures at the pyramid, or I have 3 pictures. So I gotta do 1 picture at the pyramid complex. So I can do, let's see. Let's do this one here. Didn't realize I didn't make a small one at the Great Pyramid Complex, which is like the most well-known one, which I would say Saqqara is probably my favorite. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly. I should know how to say them all by now after hearing them all week. But that was probably my favorite just because it was quiet versus the, you know, like I call it the Great Pyramid Complex. That's where the 3 main pyramids are, the Giza pyramids. It was just a lot busier. It wasn't super busy when I went. I think I went at a pretty good time. I don't know if it's always like that or if I just got lucky this year. I know tourism has been up there, so I might have just gotten lucky, but all right. So that's our little tour group for the first part of the week. So this is all the first week. So I went for 2 weeks. So I could do that and then write about that. And then this was the second week. But I don't have any desert pictures there. Oh my goodness. Tracy, why didn't you do this? Did not do a good job of printing all of my photos because one of my most memorable moments was in the Sahara Desert. Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but I almost felt like that. I just felt more there than even at the pyramids. It just was amazing. So I have that desert one and then that desert one. So one of those might go. Okay. I can trim this a little bit. We don't need the whole sky. really much room to journal. I mean, I can put stuff on top of stuff. So I'm gonna just have to layer it. But I think photos are important. Photos tell a big part of the story. So let's see. See, I need that picture because that's also part of week 2. I don't think I need, let's see. This is probably the hardest part about memory planning, is like figuring out how to put stuff where. Okay, so I could probably put a box here. And then I could do, so that's Bethany and Bashoy. Those were the 2 coordinators of the trip. They live in Egypt. Love them. So both of them, they are the tour company owners, and he is the guide, although she knows her stuff too. But to be a guide in Egypt, you have to have a 4-year college degree. So it's very, very interesting. Okay. Now I have stickers. I'm not gonna be able to put a lot of stickers on this page, I don't think. So a lot of these stickers, so all of these stickers came from this Wrong sticker book. I pulled them in advance because they were kind of everywhere. So there we go. And then I have these from Martina's Sticker Company. These are printable ones. She updated this version, and when her new release comes out, there will be an updated version of that. All right, so what I could do is use some of these to journal. So like I could do, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. So I can do like that here. Okay. I'm going to put this one down. So I will put that here. I can do this one for the 2nd week over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use all of these. Maybe I can. I don't know. Okay. Then, yes, I haven't taped everything down yet. I would like a bigger box. So we have, I feel like I need to do red. After I figure this down, once I start taping stuff, I'll like chat a little bit about my trip just in case you guys are interested. Now that I've had a chance to like, you know, have it all settle and kind of come down from the excitement, I can talk with a level head instead of, you know, just going off on tangents because I'm still like reeling in all the excitement. You know, when you come back from a place, it's always kind of that excitement that kind of captures you. All right, so what I'm thinking, can always do, maybe I'll have to do this. I think I'm gonna have to do something like this. All right, so this I'm gonna have to be pretty, do something like that, and then I'll just come over like that. I can probably trim this a little bit. I think I don't want to trim it too much, but I mean, I can trim it some. I have these photos in the photo book I ordered, so it's fine. There's photos elsewhere. But yeah, we went to the Sahara Desert. That was amazing. I'm just surprised like how much that like took my breath away. It was like an 8-hour car ride from Cairo. So it was quite the trek, but it was so worth it. Okay, do I have black box? No, let's do yellow. All right, so then I'm going to do this here, right? Because I don't want to take up, we'll do like that there. And that's where I can write my trip information, like the dates and stuff. I don't have hardly any room for anything else. But yeah, so we went, hold up, where are my other stickers? So I have stuff that's just so big. And that's just so shiny, but this might be the place to use it. All right, so yeah, so the first week I went, let's just start with the first week. So the first week I went, I went for 2 whole weeks. Well, I went for it actually ended up being a little over 2 weeks just because of travel, and then I had a day overlapping. But the tour that I booked, it's a small company. They're fairly new. But like I said, it's Bethany and Bashoy. She's from the US and moved to Egypt in 2020. And she met Bashoy and they started their own company. I had been following her online before she went to Egypt, because she's like, a friend kind of knew her, and that's kind of how I knew her. So I felt like I already kind of knew her before I got there, which is why I wasn't like apprehensive about it, which thank goodness, because I'm telling you, y'all, this tour was magnificent. So the first week I got there, it was going to be like, Cairo was going to be our jumping off point. And it ended up, it was a group tour. And originally, I think there was going to be 8 of us on the first week and 7 of us on the second week. Well, one of them was a group of 6, and they canceled like 30 days before the trip. So the first week, it was just me and Vigdis, who was from Norway. Awesome girl. And that's the reason why I do like sometimes like traveling. I don't want to say traveling alone, but I did travel alone, and I just, like did a tour with someone, else. But like I met these people who I hadn't known before, and like just meeting people from, not even just other countries, but just people you really wouldn't meet. Of course, I'm going to run out of tape as soon as I start doing this. Hold on, guys. Okay. Now, like 10 minutes later. Okay, is this going to work? Yes. I'm back. So, yeah, so it was me and Vigdis, and then, of course, it was Bethany and Bashoy. So, they got an Airbnb for us for that first week. It was super nice. It was in a residential area of Cairo, but you had views of the Nile River, and it was, like, right down the street from, like, one of the main roads, but it was still, like, in a more residential area, but it still had, like, restaurants and things around, so we could order groceries or order food or walk to a restaurant for those days that we were extremely tired. So it was great location, great setup, and like I said, Vigdis was super duper cool. Someone who I'm super glad went on this trip, because it just made the experience so much better. Now, what did I do with my little sticker? My little sticker that I was thinking about, did I put it back? This is already starting off so great. So anyway, so yes, so and like the first day I got there like pretty much like more than 12 hours before she did. So the first day was more of a travel day and everything like that. But our first real day is when we went to the Giza Pyramid Complex. And that, which is like where the Great Pyramids are. And it's just great. It's also where the Sphinx is. It was a great experience. Loved it. We actually had lunch with a view of the pyramids. We did do a camel ride. We went inside one of the pyramids. You can only go inside of one of the pyramids. And we went inside of it, and oh my gosh, y'all. There were steps, and it goes up at a slant. And the steps, they aren't steps. They're like, it's like a slant. So it's like a ramp. And then it has, I guess it's kind of like steps where they've kind of like put wooden boards kind of up to kind of make you not from falling. So it kind of made it like steps. Well, yeah, you have to like lean over because the ceiling height. So you're like leaned over almost in a squatting position, walking up these steps to go to the top to like the king's chambers, which, oh, I found the sticker, y'all, which was a great experience all on its own. But oh my gosh, did I feel out of shape. I was so sweaty. And like Bethany, like I said, she was the person, one of the ones who organized the tour. Oh my gosh, thank goodness for her, because she knows. She knows. She knows. She was like, you know what? We're going to do like, because they were talking about like typically like when you go see the pyramids, like that's one of the first places you would go. Like you would go do that early. Especially because the earlier you go, it hasn't gotten as hot, but the actual temperature when I went was pretty good. So that was a non-issue. But it still was extremely hot in there. But it's just because it's inside, you know, there's no airflow. But she was like, no, we need to do that after lunch, after we take pictures, because we want to look cute in our pictures. So that's what's great. That was what was great for her. And then Bishoy had his like professional camera. So like most of these pictures were from his professional camera. So yeah, I had my own like photographer there. All right, so that's all I'm going to do for this book. Like I said, I'm going to write things in it. I'm going to write that, but that's it, y'all. All right, so all that chatting, I'm already done. So we did that. Then I'm going to pull out my second book. Now, this is the one, so like I had done this for Egypt. I think I have and then I had done this, look, Go Wild. I didn't show that one on camera, but this one I'm going to do a 2-pager for Egypt. I mean, I did the other one for Italy. Didn't I say I did that one for Egypt? How did I do that? Oh, I just said cruising the Med. All right. I'm going to stamp Egypt across here. I have all different kind of letters, but these are, I think, some of the bigger ones. So, and then like the other things that we went and saw, of course, like the next day, is this right? Why does this look? I don't like doing it backwards. That is so not right. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm doing this late at night, y'all. That's part of the reason, but I have to, when it comes to memory keeping, I have to be in the mood to do it. And I really want to do this. So that's why I'm doing it now. And that's why I hadn't done it the past few months. But, so yeah, we went to the Saqqara. Like I said, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. But, that was just, you have to go inside of that too. That was a lot different. It was not, it was not exhausting like the Great Pyramid was. But, okay. Sorry, I got fireworks going off in the background because of Memorial Day weekend. Any excuse, any holiday is like an excuse for people to let off fireworks. So, okay. Ah, it still didn't work. Yeah, so we went to that pyramid. We also went to like a store like where they do like essential oils and fragrances. That was super cool. We went to a jewelry store. I bought this ring, which is like what they call like the Egyptian eye. That's the eye of what was it Isis? Or no, not the eye of Isis. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's too late. Right, yeah, I just remembered what it was. The eye of Horus, that's what it is. I thought it was super cool. So I got the ring. I might get that as a tattoo. We'll see. Yay! Stay tuned to see if I do that. That will be probably like at the end of the year. We'll not get any type of tattoos in the summer, but we'll see. So we went to some museums and went to like the markets and stuff like that. And then we went to Siwa. That was the 8-hour car ride from Cairo to Siwa. And Siwa is very like, the lodging in Siwa is very like natural. Like they have like electricity and stuff, but it's like their own electricity. So like, you know, and like a lot of the stuff is made from like mud and stone, and it's just really, really cool. But that is where there are like more like temples and other kind of cool places. You have like Cleopatra's bath there. They have trying to think of some of the other things. They have a lot of stuff. But we also went to the Salt Lakes. So we got to take some cool pictures there. Like I said, Bethany is all about the photographs. So like with her there, we got to take some really cool photos. So we had our, you know, professional photographer take some photos of us in the Salt Lakes, floating in these like gorgeous like blue areas. These itty bitty, like there's just hundreds of little small areas of water, obviously salts from like the salt mines or whatever, and they're like various shades of blue. Some of them were even red because of the sulfur. So we were like on a hunt trying to find the best ones to take some photos and stuff like that. All right, so that was super fun. And then, okay, where are my pictures now? Now that I've done all that, I'm like, where are my pictures? So I can put a lot of stickers on this page. Then we went to the Sahara Desert, and that, y'all, was amazing. Like, amazing. It's just something to be said. Of course, we did, like, 4-wheel drive vehicle, and they, like, go down all the dunes, and you feel like you're on a roller coaster, and they're just, like, you're basically taking your life. Your life is in their hands at that point. Super fun. Got to explore the desert. Got to see like seashells in the desert from where there was once water, like millions of years ago, I guess. And there was like shell, like not just shells, but like bones of like whale bones. I mean, it's just amazing to even think about. So yeah, that amazing. The whole thing, amazing. Then we did a flying dress photo shoot, which was super nice. So they give you these big flowy dresses, and of course it's very breezy in the desert. So they like flow, and Bashoy was like being the photographer and taking like tons of photos of us. So we did that. I don't think you can see it. I have like the black dress. That one isn't like a super flowy picture. I have them mostly in my photo books. So we did that, and then we did dinner there. They have like a little place in the desert where they like basically cook in the sand, but it's like a whole setup. So there's like bathrooms and stuff like that. I guess it's like right on the outskirts of the desert, but you're still in the desert. So you can look up at the sky and see all the stars and stuff like that. But it was really cool to be in the desert at sunset and just be there. I mean, even during the day, like when the sun was up, it was just, I don't know. That was just, I think that was my favorite experience, to be completely honest, was the desert. So then we said goodbye to Vigdis. She didn't do week 2. She had already been, you know, because Norway is not as far away as the U.S. from Egypt. So she had already done the area of Egypt that I was heading to. So I was going to do a Nile River cruise. She's never done a Nile River cruise, but she's visited Luxor a number of times. Okay, that's the same picture. I might use it again. I just have to figure it out. So she did not do the second week. She couldn't take off work that much time off work. So y'all, it was just me. I ended up having a private tour the second week. And at first, you're kind of nervous, but the tour guides are super cool. I can't really say we're the same ages. They're actually a little bit younger than me. But the first night of the second week, I was still in Cairo. This is before we actually took a flight. I can't remember what the boats are. They have these little small boats on the Nile. Yeah, I had my own private one. It was so windy and cold that night though, but you do dinner on the little boat. It takes you down the Nile. So much fun. All right, so there's gonna be a lot of photos here too. But we're gonna do some stickers here, y'all. We are going to do some stickers. So yeah, so we did that. I'm pretty much telling y'all everything as I do this. So this might be a long video, but some of you guys might be interested. Some of you might not. Like I said, the desert portion is not something that everybody does when they go to Egypt. So I would suggest if you ever go to Egypt, definitely look at that. I thought Siwa as a whole was amazing. I just like the experience of being in the hotel there and everything. I thought everything there was amazing. So I'm almost thinking about just putting this, because this is pretty much the first few days. This is also part of this complex. So actually all of these are together. So then for the second week, which I said ended up being a private tour, we took a flight from Cairo to Luxor and visited so many temples that I'm not even going to try to say the names because, yeah, it just can't happen. All right, so I can do a box here. I don't need a big box here. Maybe I can do a sticker. Maybe I can do a sticker with a box here. Let's do yellow. That looks so small. When I'm looking at it next to the picture, it's oh my gosh, it's so small. I don't need a lot right here though for this one. So we'll put her down here because she screams Upper Egypt to me, which is week 1. Trying to figure out what else was. Oh, this was week 1 and this was week 1. So all this was week 1. See, most of my pictures are week 1. Here was the Salt Lakes. So it was blue and then you have the salt there. That was the Salt Lakes. Maybe I'll do, that's cool looking, I think. I mean, in theory, we went to the Salt Lakes first if I want to be about it. All right, so yeah, I went on the Nile River cruise. The Nile River cruise was completely not what I was expecting. It was really nice. So there's so many different boats, or they're river boats. So they're not ships or anything like that. They're just river boats. There's so many of them and they're all different companies or whatever. Of course, Bethany and Bashoy, they picked a great one. It's one I think they've done before because they knew some of the staff. Wait a minute, it's not green. It's red. Because they knew some of the staff. Like I said, it was a really nice room. I had my own room. I wasn't sure if I was, because usually you have to share rooms on these tours and I would have had to, but because it was just me, I did not have to share rooms. So I got lucky, had my own room. They had little things going on the top deck, which they had a little pool and stuff. Y'all, I had a windows that actually open, so it wasn't a balcony, but it was windows that opened, so I I was like on the Nile, and I could just like chill in my room, sit by the window and almost be like on my balcony. So I did that. Like I said, we visited a lot of temples. We visited some temples before we went on the Nile, and we went to, I don't remember the official name, but the Temple of Isis we went to. And y'all, like all these people were leaving as we were coming, and like I just thought it was gonna be packed. There was nobody there. We entered the temple and there was like nobody in there. And like Bethany was like, this is the first time she's ever been in that temple and no one's been there. She was like, she couldn't believe it. We got so lucky. So that was amazing. I don't remember. It was this temple. So like I have photos, like there's like nobody in the background. And they said like that's unheard of. And like just Egypt is such a busy place that things like that are unheard of. All right, so I'm trying to figure out all the pictures. So that was really cool. But then we did go to some temples that were super busy because all the Nile River cruises get there at the same time. So some of them were so busy that it just wasn't as enjoyable to walk through. You almost just wanted to get in and out. However, even as busy as it was, it's supposedly even more busy during like other times. So even though it was busy, I guess it was still tolerable to a point, but I had already been spoiled with visiting temples and other like sites where the crowd, I mean, even at the Great Pyramids, the crowds weren't that bad. We got so many photos without people in our pictures. Now we did go during Ramadan. I don't know if that had anything to do with the lack of crowds. I'm not sure. Possibly. These are completely different. I don't want these next to each other because they are different sites. These are the same. I can put this one down here maybe. Although no, these were the same day. So we did the Nile River cruise, and on the last day of the Nile River cruise, like I said, every day we saw some temples and stuff like that. Not going to get into all of that stuff. We were scheduled for a hot air balloon ride, and you see I did go on the hot air balloon ride, but apparently for like the 4 days prior, they weren't able to do balloon rides because of the high winds. So like I was like, oh no, I so want to do a hot air balloon ride. I was getting very disappointed because I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it. And for like just everything ended up working out, and I was able to get to do the hot air balloon ride. I was super excited. Super beautiful. You didn't even realize you were like going up in the air. All of a sudden you're like, oh wow, we're floating, because that's really what it felt like. You really felt like you were floating. I mean, you could hear like, I don't know how to do this. You could hear the fire, so you knew like it was starting. But it was like, wow, okay, we're taking off. All right, we're up in the air. Okay, this is great. Okay, so I think I can do this. And I had to do one photo for the very last day. Okay, I think that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to add some more boxes in, but I think I'm going to start putting stuff down. So yeah, the hot air balloon was amazing. It was in Luxor. Or I don't know if it was actually in Luxor or right outside Luxor. I mean, I think it was in Luxor. But we went and, I mean, you could see some of the sites from there. We didn't go over Luxor Temple there when we were in the hot air balloon, but it was just really, really cool. I have never done a balloon ride, so that was just amazing in itself. And to like do my first one in Egypt, I mean, can't really beat that, you know? So that definitely was a bucket list item. Then that day was such a long day. I remember we went and we saw some more temples, and I know we skipped one. We went to the Valley of the Kings. Is that where we went? That one, it was like they said, we were lucky because the temperature was amazing. Like it was probably like 70s, and like days before it was hotter, and I think when I left it got hotter. So like literally everything was just lining up when I was there. So because I know they said like the Valley of the Kings, when you go there, it's like a lot of white rock, and they said it's so hot. There's like no cover. Like you could get like sick. That's how hot it gets. But we were fortunate, so we didn't have to deal that much. But this was another travel day because after visiting, I think we visited 2 temples. Well, we visited several temples in the Valley of the Kings, but like 2 different sites. Then we end up going to Hurghada, which is on the East Coast. So just for geographic purposes, I pretty much went all over the country, except the only part I didn't do the far like southern tip. But, you know, like Cairo is toward the north, like more like northeastish type thing. Siwa is on the west coast, kind of northwest. And that is like near the Libyan border. And then Luxor is south. I guess south central. Like Cairo, I guess, is more central than east too, I guess, if you really want to be kind of accurate. And then Hurghada is on the East Coast. It is definitely a tourist destination. Yes, it was. It's where it was on the Red Sea. So we had a yacht day. Again, because it was just me, I had the whole boat to myself. It was a nice one too. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, I'm not talking about below deck type yacht. I guess I need to put the other one down first. But it was, I mean, there were some that had like 40 people on it. So there was so much room on it. So we hung out there. They took us to like a little island that had like some drinks and places to kind of chill in the shade. And then you got back on there. They caught the food. So you had fresh seafood that they caught for you while you were on the island. Like, how amazing is that? You talk about fresh. And then, all right, this one, I want a balloon behind it. Or 2. Like I said, Martina's Sticker Company, she's going to have a few of these. At least one sticker sheet where she kind of upgraded this version where she did some new updated designs. They'll be coming out soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that because, you know, you really can't find hot air balloon stickers just anywhere. I could have waited, but I have these and these are just as cute. So I wanted to use them. Put some clouds around here. I'm just making my own scene right here. So yeah, Hurghada was strictly a beach town. So you really did not even realize you were in Egypt. We stayed at another Airbnb there. And it was in like a gated community. So nice, so fancy. They even had like their own like little area where they had like restaurants and stuff. We ended up doing like a really nice restaurant on the last day. We did nice restaurants when we were there the whole time. Part of the tour, like all the food was included. So like they picked restaurants and we went to some really good restaurants. But yeah, so what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Trying to think about where I can put boxes to kind of chat. I don't need to talk about all this stuff because I'm talking about journal about it because I have a photo book where I kind of talked about some of the stuff too. But that was a very cool place to kind of end my trip because I was able to kind of like wind down and relax and kind of hang out. Like the first day we were in Hurghada, our Airbnb was on like a lake, I guess is what you called it. So like they had like lounge chairs and stuff like that there. So I just like chilled there for the day. Kind of like take a breather from all of the temples and stuff that we had saw on the Nile River, because that was just so busy. It was just go, go, go that whole time. So yeah. All right. I think everything's down, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just going to put some things down. But yeah, Hurghada was definitely a little bit unique as far as like the rest of the country. It's kind of like, I think they said like, Russians frequent the place. So it's like their Caribbean. That's where they go. So, you know, a lot of places in Egypt, there's English. It's kind of like a common language, but in Hurghada, they also have a lot of things in Russian because of the heavily Russian tourist population there. All right, I need some black boxes. Let me grab my black box book. Y'all, this video is so chatty. I'm so sorry. And I don't know how much I could speed through because I don't know what y'all want to hear and what y'all don't want to hear. But yeah, so it was just a really nice, like, all over tour. There's like, I think they said there's like quite a few beach areas we could have like gone to, but you know, like Hurghada, it was really cool. And I really liked being on the Red Sea. I mean, that's another kind of like, okay, check. Was on the Red Sea. So that was definitely like another bucket list type thing to like check off. Got to do some snorkeling and stuff like that. All right, I think this will be for this one. I'll do like arrows. I have arrows. So I'll do like an arrow, squiggly arrow. Okay. Don't really want to hide too much of the balloon, but I don't have a choice. Yes, so I think I'm finishing up here. I think this is pretty much it. Let me see. Do I need to go back into box 2? Book 2. I have 2 rainbow box books, and I always try to look in book 1 first. And then nothing's ever there. So then I go to book 2 and hope it's there. So yeah, I would highly recommend Egypt. I felt extremely safe there the entire time. Never felt unsafe, not one moment. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Had the time of my life. It was definitely one of those trips that like, I'm really glad I went on, but like there was like a lot of apprehension before I went, just because I was traveling by myself. That alone was probably the biggest. It wasn't like safety or anything like that. It was more of traveling alone was probably the reason that I was the most nervous. So, but traveling alone ended up, I mean, like I said, Vigdis was there. She travels there all the time alone. There are other tours, you know, that go there, obviously. So you don't have to be alone if you get on a tour. But the food was great. The portion sizes were humongous. All right, I think I'm done. I kind of want this to be like there maybe. Yeah, the portion sizes were humongous. And they do a lot of meat and veggies. Like they do like mixed grill, which is like all different types of meat. So they always had vegetarian and stuff options because they always had like a lot of grilled veggies and stuff like that. But yeah, we did not go hungry. Let's just put it that way. All right, is there anything else? I think that's gonna be it. I might put a kite here. Just to kind of fill in that space. All right, guys, so there we go. My 2 Egypt memory keeping spreads. I'm just going to do like basic journaling. Like I said, I have a memory keeping book where I kind of wrote down stuff in there. Before I had it printed, I kind of like jotted down some of the facts of it. But let me bring out my other book. But yeah, that's what I did. Okay, there we go. So you can see this is like my 1-pagers that I'm going to do for all of my international and stateside trips, or most of them, hopefully. But there we go. That's the Egypt one here, where I'm going to just do a little bit of light journaling. Here, I'll probably just hit on the highlights of what I did. I'll probably just do like week 1, week 2, and just write what I did instead of like anything else. Here, I might kind of write some cool things that we did while we were there. But there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you don't mind all the chit chat, but yeah, I figure if I'm doing a memory keeping book about my vacation, I kind of wanted to like chat a little bit about it in case you guys were curious about like what I did. And I guess I really didn't offer too many recommendations. I mean, I would say if it's a place you wanted to go, I would highly recommend it. I have absolutely no regrets. Like I said, I felt super safe over there. Not once did I like feel unsafe, and we were an extremely small group. And like there was one time where the 3 of us girls walked to dinner, probably like a 5 to 10 minute walk from our Airbnb. I mean, it was still more of a residential area, but at no time did it feel unsafe. Traffic is a little crazy there. I will admit, you hear car horns like all hours of the night, especially during Ramadan. I don't know, it might be like that during all the times, but during Ramadan, it's like quieter during the daylight hours, because people are more like, might sleep during those hours, means they can't like drink water or eat or anything like that, so they might just be sleeping it off. So it gets really loud at nighttime, and the traffic goes from like 0 to 100. There really are no rules to the road, so like driving is a no-no. Like you definitely do not want to rent a car there, because if there are 3 lanes divided, there might be 4 or 5 as far as how many cars are there. It is, and everybody, it's not like, you know, in South America where you have like mopeds and stuff like that making extra lanes. No, there's cars making extra lanes. Like I said, there really are no rules to the road, but you know, I didn't see any accidents, so there's that. All right, guys, that's it for my chatting. I need to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching this video and hearing about my trip. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching me try to create some memory keeping spreads in both this book as well as, I keep closing it, as well as my 8x8 little travel journal that I have specifically. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make these spreads. And if you did, do not forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. All right, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.